I moved to Spain 3 months ago and I'm ready to share how it's going. I will cover 6 major most important topics, which are lifestyle and culture, food, traveling around the country, work-life balance, challenges and personal reflections after living here for 3 months. Starting with lifestyle culture, Spain is everything I expected and more. I'd say Spanish people know how to enjoy life, how to have fun, how to find pleasure in everyday activities. Generally, the country is about slow living. They don't hurry to get everything done in the morning. They don't try to prove to someone that they're being productive enough and effective enough. They are mostly just moving at a pace comfortable for them. Also, the siesta is very real. Many shops and institutions close in between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. for 3 hours. It can be 2 to 5 or 3 to 6. But 3 hours in general. They're also taking Sundays off always. You won't find anyone or any place working here on Sundays, including the grocery stores. Siestas and Sundays can be a bit of a problem when you have just come here and you're not used to the schedule yet, but over time it contributes to your work-life balance a lot, because you will be forced to have rest, because nothing's working apart from the places where you can have fun. And also places that don't close on siestas, they will still be empty at this time, because people also don't want to do anything in the time of siesta. Regarding fun, every day in Spain is some kind of a holiday. You'll find people dancing and singing on the streets for no reason. They're just being happy as they should be. Mostly, I've noticed they don't really care what others think, they're just doing what they want, which is great. It's your life, why would you want to fit into someone's standards of being good enough or nice enough instead of doing what you really want? I've never seen people living by this principle as hard as Spanish people do. One more important point is that everything's late here. People don't wake up too early, even the sun doesn't rise too early. Before the change of time to winter, the sunrise was at 8:30. It's not too early even for me to go watch the sunrise, and I'm not a morning person. They also have really late dinners. At some restaurants they don't even start accepting dinner orders before 8:30. Then parties also start really late here. I haven't been to any parties here yet, but I could hear them in different places, and I can say that they don't start until at least 11 o'clock and they don't end until at least 3 a.m. When I first came to Sevilla, where I've lived for my first month in Spain, there was a coffee shop underneath my window. The coffee shop with a terrace, and the coffee shop itself doesn't work at night, but the terrace doesn't go anywhere, so I could hear people being really loud until 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., especially on Friday nights. Next, let's talk about the food. I've already said the dinners here are late. Breakfasts and brunches are also not too early, but let's discuss the taste. I'd say that most foods here are really good. It seems like everything is freshly cooked and nourishing. I haven't tried all the national dishes yet, but I have tried the main ones, the most popular ones, which are paella, tortilla, and dishes with seafood, for example, seafood pasta. All of them were great. Also, let's discuss coffee. Spaniards drink a lot of coffee, especially espresso. I don't drink as much coffee, especially I don't drink espresso at all. But I've tried other types of coffee here, and I don't think it's good, to be honest. I have tried coffee in Starbucks, and I'm sorry, but it's the worst Starbucks in my life yet. But it also varies from city to city, so I'm not saying that Starbucks all over the country is horrible. But anyway, after this situation, I only drink homemade coffee and coffee in Ukrainian coffee shops, because they're definitely the best. We can also talk about the drinks. For example, I have tried gin tonic in a few places, among other cocktails, and they say they're bigger and stronger here than in any other other place I have tried them. So if you want to have fun after just one drink, order gin tonic and you will not regret it. It will be quite a big glass and there probably will be more gin than tonic. Also, you'll see a lot of wine here. I can't say how good it is because, to be honest, I think the trick here is that most of this wine is local. It's not too expensive and there's a lot of it. So what I heard about local wine when I was coming here, it's wine, it does the job, and I say it does work like this here. I prefer really good expensive wines, so it's not exactly my story, but I'm not complaining anyway. And local wine is definitely not bad. It can be really good, but you need to know how to choose it correctly. I haven't learned to do it yet, because it's all in Spanish, which I don't speak. Also, for the same reason of how wine works here, I didn't try sangria yet. Because I love wine, sangria is not pure wine and it's also usually not as strong as wine and there's just more of it. But I will try it one day and then maybe not even one day, who knows. Now let's talk about traveling around the country. And this will be my favorite topic to talk about. Spain is very different in every region. The weather, the mentality of local people, the traditions, it all changes. I have already visited 7 cities and I'm definitely hoping to visit more. I already have a trip planned for December, very excited for that. But anyways, I'll be talking about what I have already seen and what I have noticed. Firstly, it's really worth it to try and see as much of the country as you can to find a region that suits you best, because it is very different on the south and the north, for example. In terms of transportation, how easily it will be for you to get around the country. It depends on the area that you're in. For example, I have initially come to live in Sevilla, the city on the south, that's kind of in the middle of a desert. It's the hottest city in the country and it's also a city with the fastest Spanish pronunciation, which I totally believe. And it seems to everyone like it's so far from everywhere. It might be true, but transport is quite good there. There's a Sevilla airport, the train station, buses to anywhere you want. The city I'm in right now is not as far deep in the south. It's closer to other European countries, let's say. It's closer to my home country. So everyone was relieved when I came here, but transport here is just not good. I can only get a direct bus ticket to Alicante and then go from there anywhere I want. So in terms of transport, Sevilla seems better to me. The only downside is extremely expensive tickets. I once went from Sevilla to Malaga and the train ticket only there cost me 80 euros and the same amount for the ticket back. The price can be justified by how good, how big and how clean the train stations both in Sevilla and in Malaga are. But to be fair, 80 euros is the price for a plane ticket when going to other countries if traveling without luggage. From Alicante, however, it's much cheaper. Even the flights within the country are much cheaper. Talking more local, not getting around the country, public transport is only good in the bigger cities. So if you're planning to come and live in Spain and you're choosing a smaller town, you need to either have a car or be ready to walk a lot. I don't have a car and I don't drive, so I walk a lot here. And I love walking, but this amount of a lot is challenging even for me sometimes. Speaking about how good traveling around the country is, it feels amazing. It feels like the perfect vacation every time you go somewhere. The weather is awesome, the cities are so filled with this Spanish energy, desire to live to the fullest, playfulness with life even. It feels like you're slightly high on life every time, because you see extraordinarily energetic people on the streets, you see nice and cute areas in some cities, you can find many castles and miradors, places with gorgeous nature, beautiful sea banks. Also seeing sunrises and sunsets painting the sky pink, purple or orange over all these gorgeous places feels like a fairy tale. Even from my window I see a pink lake and the sunset over this pink lake feels unreal every time. And it's not like I planned it or was looking specifically for an apartment with a view. It's just how many beautiful places you'll see around the country. I have already seen quite a lot of places. I will be traveling more and I'm posting more in real life about it on my Instagram. So you can click the link in the description and follow me if you're interested. Now let's talk about the daily. How is the work-life balance in Spain. I must say, for me, it was rarely about balance and mostly about life. I will make a whole another video about work-life balance in Spain and how it turned out for me. But now I can just say that this country feels like a once-in-a-lifetime chance to care for yourself. It definitely works like this for many people here. If you work for a Spanish company, you have to aim for a really good one, because otherwise you'll probably have a lot of time and energy for life but will not have enough money. Spanish salaries are not among the highest in Europe as far as I know, so living in Spain and working for other countries as a contractor might be the best option. But also in this case you will have much less time and space for fun than Spanish people do. So it's up to you really. You can work somewhere local, make not too much money but live a lot, or you can work remotely for another country, have more work and money but less life. The challenges or the downsides of living in Spain briefly are: firstly, let's include this, you don't really want to work because it feels like summer and time for going out and partying all the time. Second, the language barrier is real here. If you don't speak Spanish, you will oftentimes be in a situation where English will not save you. English can help only in big cities and in touristic places, but to get a better, more immersive experience, you will have to learn Spanish. I haven't learned the language yet. I don't have even the basic speaking skills, but I do understand a lot of simple words and phrases when I need to get around somewhere. So downside sometimes can be weather. Generally the weather is awesome, but some areas were flooded this autumn. It's not a regular situation here, but I heard of the floods when I was going to come here and after I came here, so it might be not the rarest situation as well. So sometimes it can keep you on edge, following the news and trying to understand where it even comes from and how it moves around the country, because it is quite chaotic appearing in different regions around the country. Fourth, a minor disadvantage maybe, but still a big deal for me, is how Christmas will look here. They already put up decorations in a city where I'm at, and I couldn't be mentally prepared for the palm trees and Christmas lights. It doesn't look bad because everything's shining and shimmering, but too unusual for me, and I really wouldn't mind snow for winter holidays. And the fifth point, that would have been the first for many people, is bureaucracy. I'm only including this because that's what many people are saying, that it's hard to deal with the documents, it's hard to rent also because of the documents. I don't disagree with it, but I think it's normal, because I have what to compare with, because I also lived in the UK for some time. So for me, it's like, if you think Spain is bureaucratic, you haven't tried England yet. Now, I want to share my personal discoveries and new thoughts about the country and myself after living here for 3 months. It is a life-changing experience for me. I have no idea where all of this is taking me, but I can say for now that it's probably more and better than I expected. I didn't see myself in Spain at all, unlike many people who come here dreaming of the sea and the sun. I don't look Spanish, you know. By the way, even in places where they speak both English and Spanish, like restaurants or coffee shops for example, they usually start speaking Spanish and then switch to English when needed. But to me they don't even start speaking Spanish. I wonder why. And what if I decide to stay here longer? I'll learn the language and they still probably wouldn't perceive me other than a foreigner. Anyway, the country is great for caring for yourself, for restoring the connection with your true wishes, because in the nice weather and the nice surroundings, you usually have the energy to wish for more. So it's easier to feel inspired and motivated life-wise, work-wise, or with any area that you're interested in. Also, the biggest discovery or the most surprising feeling for me is that it almost feels like I didn't know anything about the world before coming here, because I came here on my own, not knowing anyone in the country and not having someone by my side following me right here in Spain. I did have a powerful background of previous experiences and impressive support from people in my life. I was always in touch with my feelings and I'm very intuitive, but being here across 4K miles from home, not understanding absolutely anything at first, and then slowly exploring and starting to enjoy it, I don't know, it feels good. It feels like a fulfilling experience in many ways. There's no better way to put yourself out there in the world. And I don't know where it's taken me, but